So, I think I've mentioned this before. I read online somewhere that for people who are being rehabilitated from being cannibals, I found out that they use spam to wing them off because apparently that's like the closest thing that has the texture to human flesh. So they use that to wean off cannibals.
How do bad emails help you not eat people?
I don't know what to say to that. Oh, it's a joke. Oh.
Sorry, it's not a good joke. Hello and welcome to Missing the Wagon, a pop culture review podcast. I am your host Samuel, and with me today is my co-host Miri.
Hi.
How are you doing today, Miri?
I'm doing great, like always.
If you are new to the podcast, welcome, and if you are not, hey, welcome back. Today we're reviewing a James Bond film, MoonRaker. But before we get into MoonRaker, Miri, what is your take or your feelings on James Bond in general?
I'm going to say the same thing I said for Superman. I had a lot of questions. Like, the things that happened, I was like, how? And also, at this point, they should have named it, like, what was the name? MoonRaker?
MoonRaker.
MoonRaker?
Moonrazer.
I think they should. I think they should have just named it "How Many Women Can like James Bond Flirt With."
I still love the idea of a James Bond film called Moonrazer, where a man trying to make the moon higher in the sky.
Oh yeah, he was definitely raising something.
Yeah, for me, James Bond was always a goofy spy film. It may be because I grew up with Pierce Brosnan. James Bond, because I don't remember GoldenEye, and GoldenEye is Pierce Brosnan's best Bond. But I remember the one with Halle Berry, which Die Again Another Day or so whatever.
Is that the one where like I've only seen snippets of these things, so I don't know which one is which. But is that the one where they're like sleeping, doing the stuff on diamonds?
Oh, that's the very end movie, yes.
Okay, that's all the only clip I know from that movie.
Because Halle Berry's name in that is Jinx. And, she quips at Bond, and she's, female Bond, but, Pierce Brosnan's there, so Remington Steele is there. And, I think that's the one where a man gets facial reconstruction surgery, and he has diamonds in his face. And that's, the Ice Hotel thing. That's the one that has the tires that reinflate. James Bond has always been hokey and nonsensical to me. So, when we get into the movie, I always found it strange when people are like, "Oh, James Bond is more serious," and I'm like, "I've never seen." No.
This movie was
but you only watch one James Bond. There's 30 James Bond.
This movie is not serious.
Yes,
I don't know about the others,
which is why when we get into it, people were like, "This is too campy." But yeah, James Bond. So, but for me,
this was nonsensical. Is that the correct term?
Yes, it is.
And that was
one of my clearest memories of James Bond is Halle Berry with terrible CGI doing a dive off of a giant wall backwards, and I'm like, yeah, this looks bad.
I think I'm confusing this with Indiana Jones. Because I only remember him running from a boulder. That's Indiana Jones, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe that's the first movie. That's the intro when he steals from a native tribe for archaeology.
Okay, never mind. I haven't watched any.
You haven't seen Indiana Jones?
No, I've seen certain clips from Indiana Jones, but for some reason I was thinking Indiana Jones was a James Bond movie.
So he had a different. So he had a different code name for stealing precious artifacts, and it's Indiana Jones.
And then he was an agent on the side.
If I make the joke, I named the dog Indiana, you wouldn't get that joke. Because I've seen all those movies, but me looking at you saying I named the dog Indiana, you wouldn't get that. So I'm not gonna do that joke at you. And now we'll talk about some news from that year. from 1979 December.
Oof.
As always, thank you on thisday.com, because without this, I wouldn't know what to say for this segment most of the time. On December 3rd of 1979, 11 members of the audience were trampled to death during a stampede to claim unreserved seats for a concert by The Who at in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Okay. So I looked some stuff up on this one. This one actually kind of caught my attention. Very sad. Very, very sad.
Yeah, people died for a Who concert.
They sure did. So, so this is some stuff that happened after the people got trampled and died. So apparently, fearing there would be a riot if the show got canceled, local officials instructed the band to perform. And the band members didn't know that people had died until the show was over. Oh, it says here until the final encore. That's when they found out some of their fans had died. Not only that, but 11 people died, and then 26 people were injured. The youngest person being 15, and the oldest being 27. That's
that's not that old. That makes me immensely more sad about that.
And then there's more. It says the victim's family sued the band, the concert promoter.
Why the band?
I don't know, because they're the band, but what they were playing is their fault. Uh-huh. They sued the band, concert promoter called Electric Factory Concerts, and the city of Cincinnati. The class action suit filed for behalf of the 10 families that was then settled in 1983, awarding each of the families approximately $150,000. There was one family in particular, for the deceased of Peter Bowes. They opted out of the class auction and settled later for a different amount of $750,000. So
like Bose headphones, like Bose Electronics.
No, the family of the victim, Peter Bowes.
I'm saying with that money that they start an electronic company.
No.
Oh, okay.
It just says the family of Peter Bowes.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
That's all it says. I'm assuming that's the victim.
Yes.
But
if his family's claiming it, yes, that is the victim.
But yeah, so that is immensely sad. I feel bad for the band because they got sued, and the fact that they won the fact that like the family members won, sucks for the family members. But the band was they were just there. They had no idea, which I guess made him feel worse, probably.
It reminds me of you don't watch wrestling ever, but there is a man named Owen Hart who died because he was supposed to zip line into the ring, and it's supposed to have a quick release for his joke character. But the company that did it, they cut corners because wrestling is about cutting corners. And Owen, I think he dropped 15 to 20 feet to the mat.
Oh.
And instead of canceling the wrestling event, because that would be bad money for the company and whatnot, bad publicity.
Man died. That's still bad publicity.
It's terrible publicity. That's why almost no one from the company was was invited to his funeral. The family felt like it was the company's fault, which kind of was.
Dang, that really sucks if he was close to some of his coworkers and they just weren't able to.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Don't worry. Some of his coworkers were wrestling that night. So when they were wrestling, once again, you're probably never going to see this, but for the pay-per-view, you could see people just staring at the blood stain on the canvas.
Oh, no.
As where this person that they've probably wrestled with for 5, 10, 15 years just died.
Oh, no. Eee.
Yeah, man. And there are reports.
Trauma.
Yeah, trauma is not the word I choose for. And there are reports where he was falling. He was yelling people to move out of the way in the ring because he didn't want to hurt them as he was falling to his death.
Oh no! Oh man!
Yeah.
Oh no!
So even though he knew he was out here dying, he's like, "No, get out of the way! I don't want to hurt you.
I don't want to take you out with me." Mm-hmm. Oh bless.
Yeah, man.
Oh, my heart.
Yeah, and people are like, "Why is Bret Hart so bitter?" I'm like, "Well, wrestling is a business that makes you bitter at some
My
points."
heart. Oh, no.
On December 7th, Star Trek The Motion Picture, the first movie of the series, premieres, directed by Robert Wise and starring William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy. Do you know anything about Star Trek?
All I know, it's in outer space. And they have laser... Wait, no. that's Star Wars. Never mind.
Yeah,
I was about to say they have the laser swords, but no, that's Star Wars.
That's definitely Star Wars. Oh.
Okay, all I know is they're in space and they go pew pew on ships.
Well, they do that.
That's all I know.
Okay.
And the Bearman, the moon.
No, that's fine. Yeah, but yeah, that's Star Trek. Star Trek is about, especially William Shatner's Star Trek, it's about a man sleeping his way across the galaxy with aliens and using his cool Federation training.
What's that called? What's that game called with Garrus?
Mass Effect.
Yeah, because you do sleep with some of the characters.
Shepard. The main character you play is Shepard, and you said Garrus.
I love Garrus.
No, yeah, that's cool, but Mass Effect isn't about Garrus. It's about Shepard.
No, I try to romance Garrus, you know.
Also, I never played Mass Effect, so it's funny that I'm like, hey, that's the main character.
It's one of them. It's one of the characters that is consistently in the plot.
Oh, that's true. On December 13th, the arrival of Roger and Hammerstein's musical Oklahoma opens at Palace Theater, New York, and it runs for nearly 300 performances. Now, that just is amazing to me because, one, that's just an immensely long time. But then the other thing about it is I did not think Oklahoma was that old, which I don't know why I didn't think it was that old. I've seen this musical live. I saw it in school for the movie, but I didn't think Oklahoma was like a thing from, I don't know. I feel like it was like Showboat, where it's like early 1900s, not late 1900s, but it is a revival, so.
So, on this one, I don't know much about Oklahoma. I'm glad it ran for as many performances. All I gotta say is that the only fact, no.
Yeah. Oklahoma, where the wind goes sleeping down.
Nope.
Okay, man.
Nope. I'm just barely finding out about Hamilton, man.
I think Hamilton's like 9 years old now. I don't know. I don't keep track of that. Lin-Manuel is the one making money from that. I don't gotta keep track of Hamilton.
All I gotta say is I don't know much about Oklahoma, but I'm really glad it played as many as times as it did. The only thing I really found kind of interesting, which I have no context behind, so everyone, like, if you guys have more context, then you please share at one point. So apparently the grandson of the creator of Oklahoma, Oscar Hammerstein II, there was a Hammerstein.
Yeah, Hammerstein.
Hammerstein. Yeah, the second.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry, I said it wrong. Okay. Him, the grandson of the creator. Apparently there was a remake of this in 2019, which it was.
Wait, what?
It was a remake of it.
Okay.
And it says here, like, the director, Daniel Fish, reimagined the show as a gritty, dark commentary on American violence, including a blood-soaked finale and the addition of gunshots as a set decor. Which, I guess, the grandson watched that, and I quote, the reimagined version was he considered a travesty, claiming the original creators would be rolling in their graves. So I thought that was.
Well, Oklahoma is a romanticization of the Wild West times. Like with Surrey on the Fringe on top is literally a song about a wagon with special fringe for taking out your lady or whatever. And I know there's a fight, whatever, because I think I haven't seen Oklahoma in years. I think there are two men that like the same woman, and they have to fight for her affection. But I think the lady has a dream, because there's a dream sequence in the movie where like the two men are fighting. And like the men are like tornadoes, and they're like fighting, and they're going back and forth in like circles, destroying everything around them, trying to like win her heart or whatever. And I'm like, but so once again, you haven't seen Oklahoma, and that's fine.
So I'm just getting it off based off on like little facts on Google. So if I'm wrong out there, I apologize. Those just the things that caught my attention.
Oscar Hammerstein, if Mary's wrong, you're probably not going to hear this. So it's not that big a deal. But yeah, I did not know there was something from 2019 for Oklahoma. I have no idea how someone would choose this and be like, you know what? I think this is the thing we need to do a remake of. I'm like, no, we don't. Not really. It's fine. Oklahoma can stay how it is. On December 15th, Chris Haney and Scott Abbott developed the board game Trivial Pursuit, which that's just a good time. I didn't know. I thought Trivial Pursuit was older, just by a little bit, because having trivia knowledge doesn't seem like, or having a game of trivia doesn't seem to be a thing that I quantified as like new-ish. But I was thinking about it, like, it makes sense. It makes sense that it was like that. Have you ever played Trivial Pursuit?
I don't think I have.
It's just the game where you answer trivia questions and you earn colorful wedges, and if you get all 6 wedges before any of your other opponents, you win Trivial Pursuit. That's about it.
No.
Then the last fact I'm reading for this year is on December 19th, Miramax Films is founded by brothers Harvey Weinstein and Bob Weinstein in Los Angeles, California. The firm is named after their parents. Now, you know any Miramax films on top of your head?
No. I had to think about it. No.
Off the top of my head, no too, because I was thinking
Miramax?
Yeah,
Is that like
it's
Pixar, Disney?
But yeah, they're movie production studios. Yeah.
Oh no.
Because off the top of my head, I was thinking of Nightmare on Elm Street, but I believe that's New Line Cinema, because New Line used to do indie films, and then Nightmare on Elm Street was the one that made them a global superpower that people saw. The reason I chose this one, because you don't know about this, is Harvey Weinstein is a sex criminal.
Oh.
Yeah, you know. Once again, I don't know how you don't know about this, but yeah, Harvey Weinstein's a sex criminal. He got caught during Me Too movement stuff. He got caught.
Call me Patrick Star, cause I live under a rock. So a lot of times these news come to me because I hear people talking about it, or I see it like it's trending on my social media. But to be fair, I don't keep up with things until Samuel mentions it to me in passing, or if I hear my coworkers talking about it.
But yeah, Harvey Weinstein was caught with some sexual crimes, and then I think he stepped down when he started hitting lots of litigation. Yeah. But like they found out he was doing stuff for years, and I was like, yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I don't know when it started, but yeah, that's when Miramax started in '79.
Miramax.
Yeah. But yeah, I assumed you didn't know that. So I put that down. So I was like, oh, yeah. But yeah, just a sex criminal. Just a cool, terrible man doing bad stuff. Producing good movies, but, still sucky and bad.
It kind of reminds me of the conversation we had at work today, where some of my coworkers were like, sometimes you have to separate the artist away from the art. And so, like, they like they like the stuff he makes, but he's not a very good person either. So I think it's kind of like that. He's a good producer, just not a very great person.
Yeah, he's a terrible man. But yeah, because I saw that on Instagram once when people weren't playing his music, and then they put they started putting his music back and stuff, and I'm like, no, I don't want to step in the name of love. This man does not deserve publicity or money from anyone.
I enjoy Trapped in the Closet a lot. That's the only thing I really enjoy from him. I haven't really heard much else, so that's the only thing I really enjoy from him is Trapped in the Closet.
When I was a younger man, I enjoyed much of his music, and as an adult, I enjoy zero of it. And speaking on R. Kelly, now we get to do our segment that I don't think we've done it in a while. I think we did it the last time on Jaws. It's cancelable, where we talk about things in the movies we were watching that we don't think would fly currently, which for James Bond is very simple. Because I think for Jaws, if I'm not misremembering, for Jaws, it was nudity. So many things. It was the short shorts, smoking. No, smoking in a hospital.
Smoking in a hospital.
You can smoke wherever you like. You shouldn't smoke in a hospital.
The murdering.
No. The murdering, and then the mayor covering it up because he wants to make money on get tourism during 4th of July or whatever. And I'm just like, I think the thing I stuck on to the most was the sheriff is out here, shorts up to his genitals, and just sitting down, man spreading, smoking in a hospital. Because I think the mayor does it too, and I'm like, yo, man, parents are here with their kids. Put your cigarette.
They're nervous, man. They gotta take off the anxiety off with that little.
Yeah, man. So give yourself an addiction. But so with James Bond, if you've never watched the movie, James Bond is nearly cancelable in every movie he's in. If you watch one of the newer Daniel Craig ones, I think the reason he's cancelable in that one is he was a spy, but I think he gets fired or whatever, and he continues doing spy work, which means he doesn't have his license to kill, but he does murders. It means he does all this stuff just without the backing of his government and without any proper jurisdiction.
He went rogue.
Yeah, man. But in this one, the cancelable thing about James Bond is I don't know what age James Bond is supposed to be. I don't
Yeah,
know.
all these young women.
The James Bond, like Roger Moore, when he starts doing James Bond, because this is not his first James Bond. When he starts, he's 46.
Already
So,
man.
so James Bond in this movie has to be in his 50s, and nearly every woman he is flirting with or has relations with or does anything with.
Every woman he meets, he basically sleeps with.
Well, but like they're like either 30, like in their 20s or early 30s, and I'm like, you're old enough to be their dad, and this is creepy and weird to me.
Gotta get him young.
It's just, it's like the first woman he meets, she's antagonistic towards him, but then they sleep together anyway. And then the second woman he meets, like literally the first scene where James meets her, like they're sitting down on the couch and he unties her robe, and that's their first interaction. Their first interaction is her handing him a martini, shaken not stirred, and then it's them sitting on the couch and him like opening, like literally the robe is closed with like a sash, and he opens the sash, and we go to the next scene, and I'm like, so this grandpa is just out here touching this like 20-looking-year-old. I'm like, they're adults. But for me, I think it's weird that this man that's twice his lady's age is like, I think the first thing we gotta do is sexual, right? I'm like, hey, my man, aren't you here to save the world?
That team bonding, bro. That's how you can work together.
What? He's there to save the world.
And saving one woman at a time.
But yes, the most cancelable thing about James Bond, we could say his ineptitude as a spy, because everyone knows his name.
That's true.
And
he said his name like with, you know.
Even talking to former spies, you don't want to be known. Being a famous spy is an oxymoron that should never exist. But James Bond is the most famous spy. So then the second thing that's cancelable about this goofball is him being like, I know I'm in my mid-50s, but it's time to hit on these 20-somethings. No, it's not, James Bond. Focus. There's a world to save. Focus on the world that needs to be saved. And but yes.
Can we talk about Jaw? His teeth need to be canceled.
Jaws?
Jaws.
Yeah, his name. Did you name him? Did you say Jaw?
Yeah, Jaw. Mr. Jaws.
Jaw rules in this.
Like his chompers. He looked like he played his part very well. I'll say that.
Mm-hmm. When did he get like metal poisoning from like his
possibly yeah, but like those teeth need to be no.
I don't think that's a cancelable thing. My biggest problem is, if my man needs food, does it get crushed like an industrial grinder?
It's just teeth. It'll be the same thing.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Just the only difference will be like when he bites, it'll just be for the movie purposes, not in real scientific terms, but it'll just chomp. Very like the man literally bit a wire from the trolley.
Yeah, man, scientific.
And that's another question I have. Like, whatever.
How did he bite the wire? He put it in his mouth. You saw it in the film. He's like, yeah, and put it in his mouth. That's that.
You guys can't see this, but I'm shaking my head no. Like this movie was just nonsensical to me. But
don't worry, it was nonsensical to some of the critics too. Now onto the synopsis of MoonRaker 1979. We watched this on YouTube because most of the YouTube things were like $3. And it's just easier that way to find movies. I thought I owned one of these, but I don't. And I'm fine with not having James Bond in my home.
The movie begins with the space shuttle being stolen while being transferred on the top of the airliner. It blasts right off the aeroplane, incinerating the crew. Bond is returning from South Africa on a different plane when the hostess and pilot betray him. He doesn't know it yet, but on the plane with him is the villain Jaws, who had appeared in the last Bond film, The Spy Who Loved Me.
Oh, that's where Austin Powers got the name. Because the first Austin Powers, I think its tagline is The Spy Who Shagged Me. And I knew it was a James Bond parody, but I didn't know that it was that close. That's funny. Also, the incineration of the crew looks immaculate, because I knew it was like models and dummies and whatever, because you can definitely tell. But I was like, man, this is a really good scene. But also, this part's weird. Why are there no fail safes? for the ship being. Maybe they don't think people can steal stuff in midair or whatever. But I'm like,
I didn't even know the ship could be stolen when it's on top of a ship.
Yeah, it's not easy, but it's definitely possible. And then it happened, and people are like, "Hey, it disappeared." I'm like, "You didn't put a tracker inside your ship that you're putting places?"
I would think the government would be better handled on that, right? Realistically.
Yeah, the mail system loses money every year. Government ran things aren't typically the most efficient.
The pilot shoots the plane controls, intending for Bond to crash along with the plane after parachuting to safely. Bond wrestles with the pilot, eventually pushing him out of the airplane, still wearing the parachute. Bond jumps after him and manages to strip the pilot of the parachute and puts it on.
No. And this synopsis misses the part that I find the best, because it is so quick and it means almost nothing to the rest of the film, where James Bond is on a plane with a strange woman he doesn't know.
By the way, he was making out with her.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Like, he was kissing this lady that we don't ever see again.
Sucking face, man.
And then this guy comes out of the cockpit and he has a gun they're kissing. She's like, "Oh, James, it's a trap." And then the guy comes out with a gun like, "Oh, I'm going to get you now, Bond."
Okay, so
and then he shoots the cockpit.
Put a pin on that she tells them it's a trap. Like, we'll get back. We'll circle around back to that one. The thing, too, is that, like, when... Something that I really liked about Jaws, like, the character Jaws, is that anytime he saw Bond, he smiled.
Yeah.
It's demonstrating... I don't know if it was supposed to be, like... I know it was a comedic relief, I think, in my opinion, because it didn't look threatening. It just looked like he was just, "Oh, hey, you're here again." And then just kept smiling at him, showing his silver teeth.
Yeah.
You know.
But yeah, so so a lady's kissing Bond for no reason. A man comes out and it's like, "Hey, we're gonna betray you." Bond, for some reason, throws the man out of the plane with the parachute. And I'm like, "Hey, how about you take his parachute out first, then throw him out?" Or whatever. I'm silly. And then it's just a prolonged sequence of skydiving. That looks really good. Because if you don't know, James Bond, whenever they do movies, when they go to a place, they try to find things that are specific for the region they're in. 2, James Bond's opening is typically something that's like new and been popularized. Because I think there was one time skiing was new and like popular, so they did a skiing intro for James Bond, or snowboarding intro. But yeah, like James Bond intros are always like, "This thing is popular, let's go look." Typically,
I guess in this case, skydiving must have been popular.
So they just got an intro.
Yeah, no, I like the scene. I guess behind the scenes, my curiosity was like, was a cameraman involved? Like, were they like harnessed onto a professional diver and then just recording as they're falling, or did they just hire like a professional skydiver just recording as that's going on? That was my genuine question behind the scenes. The thing too is that the scene where like he jumps out without the parachute, he jumped out without the parachute, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And like he's fighting the guy for the parachute, which I think then that guy, okay, hold on. Well, anyways, Jaws, having jumped out the plane after Bond, attempts to remove Bond's parachute, then bite him on the neck like a vampire. Bond resists long enough to deploy his chute. Jaws' parachute fails to deploy, and he lands in the middle of a circus tent. So, here's my thing on that. This man fell thousands and thousands of feet from the air.
We technically don't know how high the plane was. Technically. We could calculate.
You literally just told me a story that this wrestler fell how many feet?
Like, I think 15 to 20.
Yeah, and the man KO'd permanently.
Yeah.
And you're gonna tell me they're jumping off a plane?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how high do you think a plane has to be? And then just to make matters worse, like, Jaws is still alive. Like,
we don't know that until we see him again, but yes, he is.
That's true, but look, there's a lot of things that I feel like Jaws shouldn't have been alive for. Like, at this point, this man is immortal. Like, even towards the end of the movie, like, I was at one point, he's a god. Like, I don't understand why he should be a better villain at this point, because he's alive out of everything that happens.
He is a better villain. That's why he's the one alive. All the other villains are dead. He's still living. Like he's
I think his character is a definition of ignorance and bliss.
Well, maybe. For me, my whole thing about this was once again, I did not know Jaws was in the movie before this. I don't know if they have another actor for Jaws or whatever, but I definitely thought that man had died falling into a tent. And I laughed, and I think I joked, and I said, it'd be funny if he came back because somehow the tent saved him from this 10,000 of feet drop from the air. But yeah, movies are bad at timing, but if you want to see how high he was in the air, we just need the time he was falling. And then gravity is 9.8 meters per second squared. So we just have to put that into the equation, and we can calculate out how long the movie tells us that he's falling from the thing. But I don't know, man. That man should have been he should have been splattered on the tent, unless it's the softest tent
because
you've ever seen.
There's force, right? There's force. Like the longer you fall, the faster you fall, right? Is that a thing?
Well, yeah, but you reach terminal velocity at a certain point. I think you reach terminal velocity after about 50 to 100 feet. Once again, I don't remember
Science
because,
and math, and I'm not good at either.
When he gets to London, Bond is ordered to investigate Drax. He's a guardian of the galaxy, who's a supplier of space shuttles to the U.S. government in the film. Bond goes to see Drax at his chateau in California, which has been shipped stone by stone from France. While there, Drax and Bond go hunting, and a man set up in a tree to kill Bond is shot by the 007. That skips so many things that happens in this goofy movie.
There's one thing that when it didn't say where he met the first girl.
Holly? Or, no, Corinne.
Corinne,
the one that walks around the thing.
This part frustrates me so much because once he goes back to like his he goes to London and he gets told to go to investigate Drax. Corinne is a very, very pretty woman.
A very young woman for this old grandpa.
And she's very pretty. Like at least in my I consider her to be. She looked really pretty in my eyes.
And also, she knows how to fly a helicopter.
She knows how to fly a helicopter,
which is pretty neat.
Yeah. On everything that's going on with the sexism and every woman you see, you sleep with. That was a pretty good, power move, I guess. The thing is, though, that Corinne is very, I'm not going to say smitten, but she looks like she likes the company of Bonds.
Most women do in these movies.
Well, yeah, that's true. But during the time, she's talking to him, and kind of as they're flying over, she's explaining oh, these are the astronauts, and this is their training, and she made a comment about how he tried to one of the things that she did say is that she mentioned that everything going to this project for outer space and whatever, Drax is paying for it, everything. I guess that's a power flex or something that she's just sharing about her boss, and Bond looks very displeased that, she's bragging about another man, and he makes the joke, say, what, did he try to buy, the Eiffel Tower or something? And then she says, well, yes, he did, but, I guess, their government or didn't let him or something like that.
Yeah.
So, but he says nothing afterwards. For some reason that was such a an ick for him.
Well, yeah, a man can't be in power around him. Then, most men in power for James Bond get murdered by James Bond in the movie.
Also,
no, go ahead.
Interrupt me if you have to, because there's my thing is Drax is not. He's an okay-looking man.
He's not even green.
He's an okay-looking man. Bond is, I guess, for his age, he looks attractive. Bond
Drax looks like an active villain.
He does. He has that villain. But my thing is though, he is an okay-looking man, and then his sorry, he shook his head no.
I don't think he's an ugly man, but because he's a villain, no matter how handsome he is, he looks bad.
My thing is that, one thing I noticed for this movie is that if you're a villain, you're not handsome.
Yeah, typically, yeah. You can't
because, Drax was okay. His sidekick who tried to eliminate...
You mean tried to bite him? You mean the Asian guy with the terrible bowl cut?
Yeah, he wasn't very good looking either. And then, no offense to Jaws, I like his smile when he did that goofy smile every time to Bond, but he's not very attractive himself. So.
But yeah, my problem with the scene in the chateau was, one, I think Drax is terrible with money, because Drax had to build his house with stones from France. And it's like, oh, they flew him across. I'm like, that's a waste of money, stupid. Just use stones.
If he got money, he don't gotta worry about it.
Cool. If you have money, don't waste it on doing something stupid and frivolous like flying special stones. Unless,
hey, when money is endless, what are you gonna worry about?
You know, I didn't say you had to worry. I'm saying stupid to waste the money. Don't do that.
That's true.
Like, hey, like,
I'm pretty sure if I were in a situation like that where I had unlimited funds, I'm pretty sure I'd waste some money on stupid stuff too.
Like a space station?
Not a space station, but
like trying to end the world?
No, but I wouldn't mind having some fancy rocks for my house either.
So get some fancy rocks from where you are. That's such a weird thing to do. Hey, guess what? My house is built from stones from France. So what's the importance? I just wanted them. Yeah, but okay, man. Cool. Your house looks like a brick house. That's pretty neat, I guess. And then, like, when you fly over and you see his giant house and you see the people in the yard working out, you see Corinne, like, flying the helicopter or whatever. I think it's a very beautiful shot. And the thing that bugs me, because there are a few shots where you notice it. Whenever there is anything cool happening, Roger Moore is not there. That 50-year-old is on a soundstage or on a green screen. And you'll notice it more when there's action happening, but typically the 50-plus-year-old man, he is somewhere else as all the cool stuff happens. Because when the synopsis was talking about how Bond shot a man, it missed like 2 or 3 important things. One, he meets Bond girls have dumb names. If you've never watched a Bond film, from Moneypenny to Octopussy to this one being Holly Goodhead, and it irritated my soul when I heard the name, and I'm like, Moneypenny's fine. That's why Moneypenny's still alive and she works for MI6 now. But I'm like, these Bond girl names suck.
They also missed a part too. Before he shot the guy who was before he shot he missed a shot. Mm-hmm. Was it a bird or something?
Yeah, they ruffled birds out of the trees.
And he shot the sniper who was trying to take him out. It missed the part where what was the helicopter lady?
Corin.
Mm-hmm. They slept together. That was the first woman he slept together with.
Not with James Bond.
He slept together.
Also, we can't assume that he slept with the lady that betrayed him. We could assume that too.
I feel like there was. I could be wrong, but I feel like
why?
They did.
Why? Hey! You know what? I'll come down. Why are you whispering? All I said is I think the lady that betrayed him may have slept with him as well. Just silence. Okay.
Well, I'm saying that because they got out of he got out of bed. He was putting on his clothes, right?
Did I miss that?
No, when he
on the plane.
No, when he landed, he stayed the night.
Like where?
When he got to Drax's estate.
Yeah, he stayed the night. Yes.
Yeah, and then
because Drax called someone there to help with some stuff, for his security detail.
Yeah, and he that the night before he had found something on him in the office, mm-hmm. and that was after because she was my mother told me not to sleep with men on the first date.
No, she didn't say that. She said my mother told me what I should do on the first date.
There you go. Yeah.
And then she slept with the grandpa. And I'm like, if this is your mom's advice, your mom's advice is bad.
The thing about that is that, eventually, she ends up, telling him some information, what Drax did and stuff. Which he leaves and he tells her, you be careful out there. Mm-hmm. And the scene after, a little bit before the scene where, he kills the sniper, mm-hmm. She drops him off. He leaves to go to where trying to catch the bird or something, and
nope.
Okay, tell the scene then.
Well, because once again, I'm gonna talk about the same thing you're talking about. he meets Dr. Goodhead because he's looking for a dude.
Oh yeah, he did.
What a name for any human. And then he sees a lady, and he's like, "Oh, a lady scientist." And I'm like, "Yes, ooh. James, women can know science." And then she shows him the G-force simulator for the astronauts, and Holly explains how 3 Gs is the max they need to train, but I think the machine goes up to 20 Gs, and 10 Gs are enough to kill a person.
This man went up to like 12, 13 G, and he did not die.
Well, no. What happened was Drax told his bad bowl cut man to, hey, hurt Bond a little bit.
Make sure something happens, or it's exactly worse.
So Holly left the room. Bond was put into the machine, but the henchman, whose name I don't know,
the thing about that scene was that this whole situation could have been prevented if freaking Bond didn't have the testosterone effect, which is like he felt like he had to prove himself as a man that he could handle it.
Well, you know, hey, when you're a spy that runs around and drinks all day, you need to prove you could be an astronaut at the drop of a hat.
So, like, this scene could have been prevented if he would have just taken Dr. Goodhead.
That's her name.
It's the word for it.
Goodhead, yeah.
I'm a little uncomfortable with that.
Once again, Bond girl names are bad. Halle Berry's name was Jinx, and I'm like, yo, that's not a fun name.
That's better than Goodhead.
And I'll give it that.
And Octopussy.
Yeah, once again, much better than those. But yeah, because that happens, he nearly dies. I love that scene because it's legit just. They built it on a sound stage and it was spinning around, but to simulate the higher G-force, all they did was fast forward the film.
Yeah.
All they did was fast forward the film and speed it up, and Roger Moore just had to widen his eyes or whatever, and like when he got close to, I think because the max was 20 Gs and 10 Gs can kill a man, I think when he got to 11 Gs, he pressed the button that was like, oh no, stop, because like, you know, he felt like he was about to die.
It did not stop.
No, it didn't stop. Like, and then he got out, and my brain laughed, because I was like, hey, old man spun around, he's like, oh, I'm really dizzy. And Holly's like, oh no, something went wrong. So then there's all that stuff happened. And then at night, he goes to Corinne. Corinne says the thing that irritates my soul, where it says, my mom gave me some pointers about dates. I'm like, yo, my man, is the pointer, if the pointer your mom said is have sex on the first date, your mom's giving you bad advice, you stop it. And then, after they're done, you see Grandpa roll out of bed. I'm like, why is he in bed with this lady? And then he sneaks into the office, and Corinne comes in behind him like, what are you doing in here? And Bond is like, he sees some schematics, but not all of them. So he asks if there's a safe. Corinne looks at the safe. He opens the safe with like a really cool gadget that like helps safe crack.
I don't know what is it about this, but this is a pattern. Like, you know what? I mean, maybe I don't know, because like it's the same thing with the stewardess. For some reason, something about like kissing face with him, like it just makes the female villains just like change their heart.
Well, Corinne isn't a villain. For all we know so far is that she's an employee of this villain, but that she has not done anything villainous. She hasn't done a single bad thing except for, hey, Bond, I'm showing you around. That's about it.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. And then after that, they both leave the room after Bond goes into the safe, breaks into the safe and stuff, and the Asian henchman sees them both leave.
Yep.
So after seeing them both leave, Drax, I'm guessing, has a meeting where he's like, I found out you did it. So then James Bond, like, she drops him off at the field to say bye.
And he tells her, like, you take care, be careful.
But Bond is supposed to be heading to the airport to go somewhere else. Like, he does not leave to see Drax. He leaves to go to the airport. He's like, oh, I'm done here. Like, they wanted us to talk and security, all that stuff. We did that. And he's leaving. So as he's leaving the grounds, Corinne is called over by Drax, because she, like, drives to Drax in a golf cart. And Drax is like, hey, I know you and Bomber are in my office. And, like, he loads up a gun for some reason. And I'm like, hey, like, we know you're not going to shoot Corinne. That would be so dastardly. And that would be wild. But you're not going to do that.
Don't worry.
James Bond villains are always over the top.
Don't worry. He sends his 2 dogs. Well, it shows the 2 dogs at the beginning of the movie, too, when Bond arrives. Yeah. And he gives them steak.
Yeah.
And in this scene, like, once he tells her, like, you're fired, and to, like, pack his things up, which I agree with Samuel on this one. she sees that like his what's the guy
Adrian Henchman?
his henchman
I don't know his name.
is lots of first
I don't remember the name being said to.
so she's watching him like take the leashes off the two. What were they, two Rottweilers?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like she's watching them. She's watching and she's getting scared. And I agree with Samuel on this one. She could have just drove back on the car and just rode away, but instead she runs into the woods where the two Rottweilers chase after her, and she gets eaten or gnawed by them or eaten, one or the other. But she died. She did.
But yeah, he's like, you're fired. She runs away from the dogs in the woods. The dogs capture her, and we don't see her get eaten or mauled or like.
You just hear her screaming.
But it bugged me because she ran past the golf cart.
Sure did.
If I'm just being real, the golf carts. I think an average golf cart can go like 20, 30 miles per hour. So even if the dogs are matching speed, you're still in a metal box. Drive away. Like, just do that.
Mind you, you never hear about her. And Bond never.
She's not important.
Well, that's the thing, though. You sleep with her. You tell her to be careful, and then she dead.
She wasn't careful.
She dead.
I said be careful.
And they never bring her up again. No. Like, never. So for all Bond knows, she's living life and she's happy.
Yeah, she's bebopping around the chateau or whatever. But yeah, Bond doesn't think about her anymore. He's done. He got the information. He's gone. So then Bond. I think Bond's like, oh, I forget something here. And then he comes back, and he's like, because I'm wrong about the first part. He didn't go see Drax. He was just leaving, because I think they were there for, like, security stuff. He talked about Drax. He met Corinne. They got the schematics. He left. And then he came back, like, I forgot something in the chateau. Need to get it. And Drax is like, we're doing some shooting of foul today. And there's a guy in the tree that's going to shoot Bond, because Drax knows that Bond stole some of his schematics. And then Bond sees the bird, and he waits until the man is in his sight, and he shoots the sniper. Sniper falls down. Drax is like, oh, you missed. And Bond's like, yeah, check again.
Did I?
But yes, so Bond has gotten a lady killed and has... because the lady in the plane died because she didn't have a parachute. Then this lady died. So Bond has a kill count of 2 women so far. And then he killed the man who jumped out of the plane, who tried to kill him.
Not Jaws. Jaws survived.
I thought Jaws was dead, so I thought there was 4. And then Bond shot a person, bringing his kill count to 5 at this point. And I'm just like, you got a license to kill, and you're using it, so I'm glad you have it. While there, Drax and Bond go hunting, and a man set up in a tree to kill Bond is shot by 007. At first, Drax thinks Bond was shooting at the game bird and missed. Bond says, look again, Mr. Drax, and has seen that the man in the tree was shot. And I thought, hey, Drax, why didn't you just turn and shoot James Bond? Because no one in this field doesn't not work for you. You could definitely, hey, James Bond, I know you're doing this. Bang. You just shot up. Because James Bond just did a murder. And Drax is like, well.
That's the third person he killed, though.
Win some, lose some. I think it's 4th. Well, no, he didn't kill Corinne, so you're correct. By his hand, yes. That is the 3rd person he murdered so far. At Drax's research facility, Bond meets Dr. Goodhit, who sets him up in a machine which simulates G-forces, although one of Drax's men tries to kill him by making it spin too fast. And I love that the James Bond wiki from James Bond fandom does not have the henchman's name. Jaws' name is on here, but even the James Bond wiki that's going into everything doesn't have that goofball's name. Hey, that guy that's around?
The whole scene about, again, the whole scene about the whole, G-force thing, I still believe that scene could have been prevented, that whole incident could have been prevented if Bond's just decided to just be like, hey, it's okay, I don't have to be an astronaut.
Yeah, no, the 50-year-old man shouldn't have had to prove that he can withstand G-forces.
Bond photographed some of the plans at Drax Labs with a miniature camera, which leads him to a glass manufacturer in Venice, Italy. While there, he is attacked by Drax's henchman, Chang.
No, it's not. His name's not Chang.
It says Chang.
Senor Chang is here.
And they proceed to smash up the most of the glass display area before Bond ultimately throws him out of the window of the clock tower, causing him to crash through a piano in the plaza below. That's another death. There's also a chase through the canals where Bond's gondola has an engine and even turns itself into a hovercraft going across plazas in Venice.
Once again, this is skipping over the fun part. Bond goes into a glass shop and he finds out, like, he sees a scientist in a glass shop because there's like a tour going on or whatever, and he like pretends to be a part of the tour group, and then he like sneaks off and he finds the research people, and like he doesn't know the codes get into the room. So he listens to the scientist, and as I told someone, this is why you don't have sing-songy keypads, because if someone hears the sing-songy thing that you need, you can just press the numbers in the same order. And Bond walks into a room, and these scientists have all these glass vials and all these animals in cages, like mice or rats in cages, and they're like putting tubes of stuff into the glass tubes. And Bond... like they leave after doing something, and Bond tries to grab one of the vials because he wants to analyze it and figure out what it is. So he's like, "Oh, what's being manufactured?" And the scientists come back kind of quickly, and each of the glass tubes have 3 tubes inside of them. So Bond takes one, and he leaves the thing like kind of leaning on the edge of a cabinet. So the scientist
I think you're a little ahead right now.
Oh no, because he does that, and then Chang catches him. So the fight where Chang gets thrown out a window, it's after he does the thing where he kills 2 scientists.
Oh yeah.
So what happens is the scientists bump into the thing, the canister breaks, and then they're like
kills 2 people
and I'm just
by
like,
accident.
Oh my gosh, dang it, James! Gosh, dang it, James! Because once again, if the scientists know what they're doing, they are definitely villains, because they're like, hey, we're building a neurotoxin that can cause people to die, but can't affect animals. And my brain's my brain's trying to be like, well, even if you guys are working for like the government, you'd be like, oh, we don't want to kill the animals and the plants or whatever, but we're fine with killing the humans. I'm like, oh, that's kind of an iffy thing to make, no matter how you slice or dice that pie. So, but yeah, James grabs one of the vials inside the tube to get it analyzed. They come back in too fast, so James can't put it back where it was. They run into like a counter. They knock it down. They both die. The animals don't, which when I first watched it, I didn't notice. And I was like, oh, okay.
No, the rats were still... I noticed.
No, I didn't notice.
I just thought they were like squeamish, so I just thought maybe they were smelling it or something.
But so later on in the movie, when they say that neurotoxin affects humans but not animals, I'm like, oh, I thought that was just bad. I thought you guys were just being bad with continuity, but okay, cool, that's fine. It's made specifically not to hurt animals. So then Chang like pops up like, I gotcha, and they do a fight where it's in the dark, so none of it's Roger Moore. it's just a stuntman. It's not him at all. Right, thrown through the glass, thrown through the piano, all that stuff, and then like he runs back into a tourism group for the glass shop, and he runs into Holly, and like the creepiest old man, he just stalks Holly from the glass museum all the way to the canals of Venice, stalks her all the way there, and then like
Holly,
yeah, Dr. Goodman.
Oh, that's her first name. Holly.
Yes.
Okay.
And he wait, good hit? Yes.
I was like, wait, what?
Acting like James Bond out here, but a woman has a name that's not
It's not sexist.
Yeah, right. And then so then like they talk. Holly still doesn't want to be bothered with him, and then like he has a handler because he's a spy, and he gets into the gondola, and this other gondola of the bad guy somehow knows where James is because James is a bad spy. And like, there's a coffin on the other guy. Like the evil bad guys.
That scene was hilarious because he's literally in a coffin. Their gondola gets close to Bond's gondola, and he raises up from the grave, like literally from the coffin, to throw a knife at Bonds just for Bonds can like throw it back at him so the coffin can shut on him.
Well, because it makes me really mad because James Bond is the spy and James Bond is the one that stole the plans and blah blah blah.
They also killed the gondola dude.
Yeah, they pulled. No, that's his handler. The handler is pretending to be a gondola owner, but they killed him first.
Sure did.
And I'm like, hey, I understand that like he has the poles or steer the ship or whatever.
Aren't they spies too? Shouldn't they be more trained in okay, maybe.
But also handlers don't need to be in the field. They don't need to have the same amount of training. But like, yeah, they should be more aware. Definitely. A man popped out of a coffin, and my man just was fully surprised. I'm like,
he sure was.
Like, no dodging, no, none of that. Yeah, none of that. It's just, he got knifed. And then the guy threw the knife at Bond second. And then Bond threw it at him. And then the gondola turns into a motorized gondola. And it's a very fun scene of men.
That to me was ridiculous.
Yes.
It was very ridiculous. Bond also meets Dr. Goodhead in Venice, and discovers that she is a CIA agent. Bond sneaks into Drax's research facility, discovering highly toxic gases, and calls in M from London. Although when they do go back to the research facility, they are surprised to see that it's completely changed, and Drax is there to meet them.
And that scene, I love that scene because Bond is like, "Oh, hey, last night." When I killed a man, because I know I'm a spy and I need to be really
cold.
Yeah, I need to be inconspicuous. I wasn't. I threw a man through glass and I broke stuff. Yeah. And then we had a fight in the middle of the day.
I also killed two workers along the way on accident.
Oh, but yeah, But like when I did all that stuff, like and we had a fight in Venice canals where I killed 4 or 5 people in a boat. And then my boat lifted out of the ground, lifted out of the water to then drive. Yeah, just to drive on land. And so everyone knows my name because I tell everybody. And now they know I have a magic boat that can just go from water to the land. And I left these dead bodies they could find on the boat. And there's no problem, I guess. So then Bond goes back. He puts in the code. And they opened the room where the research facility was, where he killed the scientist.
Which, by the way, I don't know how he cleared out that office because when he went in there to look at that facility with the scientist, it had a plexiglass. Like there was a desk. They looked like a remote, some type of remote control type of thing. They had like obviously the containers where they had like the highly toxic gases. It just everything looked. It looked very scientific, like a lab, like how it sounds, right? And when Bond comes in with M and like the Minister of Defense, it's just it looks like an empty office, like literally, like it doesn't look like they chipped anything off the wall or anything. It just looks like one of those fancy palace like offices, and Drax is just. There, was he sitting down or was he like?
He was sitting down behind his desk.
Yeah.
And he turns around like an infomercial. He's like, "Oh, I didn't see you come in there."
Yeah.
And just talks to him. "Hey, what are you guys doing here?" He says.
Yeah. And so that to me was like, okay, well, he got this room cleaned ASAP. However, after the meeting, while the Minister of Defense wants Bond taken off the assignment, Bond shows M one of the vials he swiped earlier, confirming to him the laboratory was real. And M discreetly allows Bond to continue his investigation under the pretense of being on leave. Ay.
Bond is led to Rio de Janeiro, where he meets Dr. Goodhead and Jaws again, and Bond battles it out with Jaws on top of a cable car high above the city, ending in Jaws' cable car crashing into the house at the end. Now, this scene...
Did they miss the part with that lady?
They mean the part where the ambulance captures them?
No, the part where like he meets the bartender.
Oh yeah, the very opening of them going to Brazil. Yeah. Yes, they did because because he meets Holly afterwards. But yes, the part where he goes to Brazil. He goes to the hotel. The lady has a martini, shaken, not stirred, which I said earlier.
Which she said as well, shaken, not stirred.
Well, no, because that's James Bond's thing. James Bond's thing is, I'll have a martini dry, shaken, not stirred. But once again...
It's a wet... Okay, I don't know alcohol that much. I just don't understand the term when it says dry.
It's less fruity, more alcoholic.
Oh, so just strong.
Yes.
Okay. Just strong.
But yeah, that's the whole thing.
I want a shot. No juice, just a shot.
But that's the whole thing that's really irritating, because once again, James Bond's supposed to be this super spy, but everyone knows his name. He's so well known. We even know
his drink.
Yeah, and my thing is, my first thought, unjokingly, because she was waiting for him in his hotel, I'm like, is she another spy? Because like we saw the lady on the plane.
I was assuming she was another spy.
Well, no, what I mean is, the lady on the plane, she was kissing Bond and like and stuff, whatever. So I was like, oh, is this a trap? Is there poison in the martini that she already has pre-made before you walk in the door? But no, she's just a good lady that has sex with Bond for no reason when they first meet.
Gotta get that Bond.
Once again, I said it incancelable. He meets a lady, she has his drink, they sit down. And then he unties her robe, and then the next thing we know, it's nighttime and they're outside. And I'm like, okay, man, how could we save people before you had sex with this stranger? How could we have done that, Mr. Bond?
The whole scene was skipped, where the whole night thing that happened to where he got more information about the whole whatever situation plot of the movie.
Drax's secret plan.
There you go. It was just skipped because they're out at night. They're looking for, I guess, more clues. Is that what they're looking for?
Yes.
And so there's a whole party going on. There's a whole, parade going on.
Carnival's going on.
Yeah, it's all going on in Brazil. And so they see a building. They go in there, Bond sneaks in, and, what's her name? The girl?
Oh, I do not know. Once again, it's not in the James Bond wiki either.
So she stays there, and he tells her
I think it's Emmanuel.
He tells her what don't go talking to strangers or something like that. And so she's there. He's looking around, and a camera goes between Bond and the girl, and she's just looking around, making sure people are walking past her, people who are partying, and she sees Jaw. He makes eye contact with her and starts making his way. Well, okay, to be fair, he does that goofy smile, which I really enjoy. He does that goofy smile, showing his silver teeth, or metal teeth, I guess. And he starts walking towards her, which then he kind of gets her, in this, chokehold embrace. And, she gets, I guess, she also pulls out a knife, which, he ends up, taking out, disarming her. And a group of people come out, and they're the ones that save her. Meanwhile, the camera goes back to Bond, where he finds another clue for this air force thing,
yeah.
or air flight thing. And so the scene comes back, and then Jaws is again about to bite Homegirl's neck, because apparently he's a vampire, and Bond jumps down on him, right? He jumps down on him?
Yes, Roger Moore's stunt double jumps down on him. And they tussle a little bit with the stunt double's back to the camera, so then they can do a shot of a close-up of Roger Moore being like, I got you, but, Jaws isn't
and then another crowd, that are, partying with the festival, they go ahead and they start, pushing Jaw towards, where the parade is at. And gives Bonds and Homegirl the moment to escape to where, and then he tells her, he's like, oh, I thought I told you not to talk to strangers. And
like an old man who came in. Whatever. James Bond is a bigger stranger in every situation most of the time.
Unless you sleep with him, then he's not a stranger anymore.
Yeah, definitely still a stranger. Yeah, and then when about Jaws crashing in the cable car, it told us that they had a whole fight, but the scene
that was not a fight.
It was a fight.
It was like playing patty cake, man.
No, he's 55. The man's not gonna be doing lots of cool stunts.
Also, this is the part where I said that the physics are not physicking, bro. Because
it's on a green screen and a soundstage, so
it's not just that, but one thing I have to admit that Jaws did was that when he when he saw them get on the trolley and stuff, and he grabbed the wire that the trolley is on, and then he jammed it, and then he bit one off, which I honestly I'm not sure what that did. Like, because he didn't stop it. It was like there was another henchman that helped stop the trolley from the control station. So I had no idea what the whole biting the cable thing did. But to him, it did something.
Well, it showed you what his teeth can do because he hasn't bitten anyone in the movie. You haven't seen him use his teeth a lot. Now, if you watch the old movie, you probably did, but in this movie, you haven't seen it. So it showed you how strong his teeth actually are. Two, when Jaws, like he's riding a tram towards Bond and Holly. Bond is like going a different way. So like the other henchman whose name we do not ever hear, who's controlling the trams, like Jaws gets up there, they get out of the tram, and they're having a real tussle on top of the trams.
Sure.
Roger Moore James Bond falls off. Holly has to pull him back up, and I think Holly says something like, "Don't let go," and James is a sarcastic douche and is like, "I didn't plan on it," and I'm like, "Yeah, no one plans on it. I don't think you planned on hanging from a tram today." So then, like, they zip line away, and Jaws is like hitting towards them in the tram, but it goes to like the guys.
Did we mention that when he found out she was a CIA agent, they slept together, and then as soon as they got done sleeping together, she like ran like a bat from hell?
No.
There was that scene too.
What happened technically is she told James that she wasn't leaving, and then James, like when she said that, he looked in the corner and saw that she had all of her stuff already packed. So then they slept together. Then he left. And then, like, she called for a plane in the morning when she realized she was gone. Because in another scene, he complains about being like, "Why'd you lie to me? We need to work as a team." And she's like, "Well, you left in the morning before I could even see you." But yes, so Bond was, like, affronted that a woman had the audacity to lie to him or not be fully honest with him, even though they're both spies. That is the deal. But Jaws, the henchman, as James and Holly are ziplining away, the henchman makes the tram go faster, but it goes too fast, and then it smashes through the housing, so that henchman's dead, and Jaws is like alive still because for some reason Jaws is indestructible, and then Jaws meets like a 5-foot blonde woman. And the scene ends with him meeting a lady.
That's another thing. Jaws didn't die. He crashed into some type of sign, which there was like cement.
No, it was the housing for the trams.
He crashed into that, like, and some stone metal crap was in there on him, and he still survived that. He loves everything, man. The fact that the trolley went, but he survived that, and then he met the love of his life.
Well, yeah, that's what the movie says. For me, it's the stranger he met after he smashed through. I don't know what that music was.
The love music. I'm not very good at this.
Bond and Dr. Goodhead are captured by agents of Drax posing as ambulance drivers and taken away in an ambulance, where they are able to escape, knocking one of the men out the door and into the British Airways sign. Now, this fight is okay at best, and Holly like isn't allowed to do anything cool in this fight besides get one arm free because James Bond has to do all the saving. And he's not good at it. He's not good at the saving, but he has to do it. Before
they got captured, though, I have to add this. They ziplined, right?
Yeah, they ziplined to get away from.
Yeah, and they landed on like a field. Mm-hmm. And before they got captured, the paramedics, came up during their job, if they were real paramedics, how saying like, "Oh, hey, we came here for help." These two are all over each other.
Technically, James Bond is on top of her, and then he's trying to kiss her.
Yeah,
and he tries to shoo away the paramedics.
Yeah, like telling them, like, hey, we're kind of busy or something, right? Mm-hmm. Which is why they get caught.
Yes.
Like, he gets hit on the back of the head, right?
Yep.
And I think so does she, and next thing you know, they're in the ambulance. This scene could have been prevented. You could have you could have just waited, man.
No, I can't wait. I'm in public. In a place I don't know, trying to find a secret madman, and I need to try to kiss this woman right now.
By the way, that's how many? I think the guy who was in the conductor station.
Yeah.
He died. How many body? What's the body count now?
It's like 7, I think.
And not the ones that he slept with.
Yeah. Ugh. Bond then travels up the Amazon River looking for Drax's research facility, which houses his fleet of MoonRaker shuttles, and has to deal with Jaws and some other of Drax's men following him. Bond's boat has a number of gadgets, including mines and torpedoes, and Bond drives over a waterfall and ejects with a hang glider just in time while Jaws' boat plummets below. Once again, Jaws survives this, and 2...
This man is immortal.
And 2... It's like literally, he gets out of the ambulance, saves the day or whatever, and then we go to a boat ride in the Amazon.
He gets out the ambulance, but Holly's still in there.
Yeah.
And then like he finishes walking up the mountain.
Yeah. To get to this boat. As Bond makes his way through the jungle, a girl in the distance catches his eye and puts him in a trance. For me, I didn't know there was a trance. This is all I saw. Old man who sleeps with ladies too young for him saw another beautiful woman and started following her around. Because once again in this movie we see James Bond being stealthy and following a CIA agent, and it looks like that. So for me, I didn't know that James Bond was in a trance. I thought James Bond was like, "Hey, I'm in the middle of the forest."
I just thought he got riled up again.
He got riled up. Grandpa got riled up. But like literally, I just thought he saw a beautiful lady again, and he's like, "Hey, you're my daughter's age, I guess," and started following her around. I didn't know it was a trance, so I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, I just thought he was, getting ready for another round.
Well, he was just he was on top of a lady trying to kiss her. And I was like, so hey, I'll do this randomly with a stranger for no reason. Makes his way through a jungle. Bond follows a girl inside the temple and encounters other girls. More women?
Harem.
Bond fails to notice that the rock he stands on tilts him into the pond, and along comes a reticulated python. Bond struggles to reach the edge of the pond, but the snake catches him and tries to overpower him. Bond uses a hypodermic pen to kill the snake.
I think there was something about that scene about the snake that kind of bothered me.
Was it how the snake looked real going into the water, then looked very fake? Is it how James Bond had this weird Assassin's Creed needle in his wrist that we did not notice?
No, I think there was a part where like the snake. I guess it's just this. So the the snake going into the pond obviously was a real snake just slithering its way into the pond.
Mm-hmm.
I think honestly the snake, when he was trying to get rid of it, or because it was wrapping around him, obviously like trying to kill him. First of all, that was the thing. Snakes don't eat people like that. They don't just on sight see you. So that's one thing that bothered me about it. The second thing was that once the snake was on him, like the fake snake, it kind of looked like a stuffed animal at one point to me.
The man or the snake?
The snake.
Oh, definitely. It's definitely a stuffed animal, yeah.
And then the other thing, during this scene, what they don't mention is that as he is struggling he's fighting for his life, all the young women, all the other girls are just staring, waiting for him to die, with like the most coldest expression. They're just watching.
It would be something poetic if James Bond died with women watching him play with a snake. There's women watching him play with a snake. Just a man playing by himself. I think that would be poetic, but also they could have just be like, "Hey, we're gonna push your head down. There's like 10 of us, and you are 55, and you're fighting a snake in water. So we're just gonna like keep you there." But Bond villains are never smart, and of course they don't. They just, like you said, they just watch them. I didn't know James Bond was in a trance. I thought he was following beautiful women around. I'm like, aren't you a spy? I'm like, not to be mean, unless this stone looks real, you should be like, oh, this stone to my feet, this stone feels different.
Yeah, I just thought he was getting ready for another round.
As Bond reaches the edge of the pond, Jaws stands in front of him and he is captured again after killing the snake, which was Drax's pet. And alongside Dr. Goodhead is put in the bay of the space shuttle, which is about to launch so that the shuttle will incinerate them and on takeoff. That is a sentence and a half that James Bond Wiki made. But yes, Bond escapes the ambulance without Holly. Holly is captured, and Bond meets up with her after he gets to have a fun splash around in the pool with the snake. And Jaws is there, like, "Hey, it's me again," and and they get like tied up. If you ever played Fallout 4, it's like that one scene when you're with Paladin Dance, and you are going to you're trying to reach the top of the thing, but if you're at the bottom, the rocket will fire will burn you, and it's literally that where they're like, "Hey, you gotta get burned by a rocket," and for some reason in this room there is a vent. Now I didn't see the other rooms, but the vent seems pretty obvious, and then like James Bond, the super secret spy man with all the gadgets, breaks out, gets Holly out. They go into the vent to escape. They crawl faster than the fire, which I find crazy, and then they escape and they get themselves on their own shuttle.
That's another thing that bothered me. I'm like, that they would have not made that in real life.
No, in real life, the man would have shot James Bond when he's at the mansion. But the craziest part is, I didn't. Okay, we know Holly helped with the science for the simulator for the G-Force, but I never heard in the movie where Holly was a pilot. So when we see Holly flying the space shuttle, I was like, oh, I knew Corinne flied it. I knew all the people who were like going with Drax to space knew how to fly or whatever, but I didn't know Holly knew how to fly. So when they got to one of the MoonRaker shuttles and Holly was flying it herself, I was like, oh, I didn't know Holly was flying. I just thought that she was CIA was like, let's figure out what's going on, let's get some information, let's come back. But for some reason, Holly's flying a space shuttle, and we're like, oh, I didn't. Okay, like from old man fights to space shuttle flying. I mean, that's what we're doing.
Drax has converted a toxin found in the species of orchid, found in the Amazon river basin, which in its natural state causes sterility, into lethal nerve agent. He plans to destroy all human life. The toxin only affects humans by launching a series of 50 globes containing a toxin from a space station. The toxin would be dispersed when each globe broke up during re-entry into the Earth's atmosphere. Before launching the globes, Drax transported several hundred carefully selected young men and women to the space station. They would live there until Earth was saved again from human life. These people would be the seed of the new master race. Bond reaches the villain's orbital lair by means of the space shuttle. Holly Goodhead is a CIA agent who completely wards off villains and pilots the space shuttle.
Competently, and also
competently.
I love how the wiki needs to say her full name now. They've either been Dr. Goodhead or Holly, but now when she's doing cool fighting stuff, she needs her full name. Also, I'll give Drax this, because I'm not as surprised. Part of his master race, he wasn't racist nor sexist about it. I'm like, hey, look at you. I'm glad. Look at you not being racist or sexist about it. Because if you're making a master race, they could have done some nonsensical thing where it's like, we found a way to make babies without both sex or whatever. They didn't. They're like, hey, we're gonna have minimum up here. We're gonna have people. You just need to like meet physical requirements and like intelligence. I'm like, yeah, look at you doing that. Still a bad dude. Definitely gonna try to commit mass murder. That's like just some genocide. Just some light genocide in the morning, I guess. But what did Idris Elba say in Hobbs and Shaw? Genocide, schminicide? Which I'm like, that's a line someone wrote in a script, and that's wild. But yeah, so like, he gets to the space station, and he explains the plan. But the problem is, if I am a part of the people that he chose for the master race, and I'm on the space station, I can't escape. Like, if I don't agree with you, I'm stuck in space still. Two, like, if that was the thing and I object, tell me on Earth so I can be like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna scoots. This ain't for me. But, like, you told them in space, so if it's not for them, they're stuck in space still. So that doesn't mean anything. So I'm glad you told me your plan. Because, like, if any of them objected to, hey, don't kill all the human race, like, it doesn't matter now. They're in space. They can't escape. So Drax is like, hey, guess what? You're here now. And I'm like, oh, I'm guessing that's fine for them. Because none of them say any objections. But so I'm just like, oh, okay, it's kind of sucky.
The space station managed to stay hidden from radar on Earth due to a radar jamming device, which Bond and Goodhead must disable. After After they do this, Raider spots them from Earth, and there's a brief phone conversation between the Americans and the Russian General Gogol. Before the Americans send Marines on board a space shuttle for Drax's station, when they arrive, a battle with lasers ensues.
And that's not hyperbole, because I understand why the critics were saying this is really campy. Legit, the Americans pull the most American thing possible, and they dock their ship. They run inside, and they just blast everybody. They just start shooting everyone they see with laser guns, and like pew pew, everyone down.
I just want to add, when they disarm the radar concealer, whatever,
the radio jammer,
fruit jammers. Whenever they disarm that, the fact that like when Bonds and Holly got up there, the first thing she walks up is to the middle, I guess, just to like take one guy down, and the guy automatically looks at her and like winks at her. And I'm just like, what the crap? And then she knocks him out.
I hate to be that guy. This is a sex station. Like, if they're making a new master race, this is a station people that are going to have to reproduce to repopulate Earth. Which is wild, because that means there will be some people who are semi-related who might have to populate afterwards, which is still strange. But yeah, that's what, yeah. This just casual sexism in our fun James Bond film.
At the end of the film, Jaws, who had opposed Bond throughout, ends up going on his side when Bond points out that Jaws' girlfriend would not live up to Drax's standard for human perfection. It wasn't... I felt like it insinuated not just his girlfriend, but I think it also insinuated Drax too, right?
No, Joss. Drax is the leader.
Oh, sorry.
I mean, it's definitely not like, hey guys, this is for the master race, my space station, my rules, but I'm not gonna... I mean,
that's what I meant. Like, I didn't just imply to Jaws' girlfriend. It implied to, like, Jaws too, right?
I think so, but once again, I don't understand why Drax wouldn't want a chance of 7-foot people who are nigh indestructible. That sounds like, and not to be mean, that sounds like a master or something. That's
Drax
crazy,
is
bro.
like letting go a golden ticket, man. Like, your henchmen could be mortal no matter how many times you think they're gonna die. They just, I'm good.
And he's like, no, that lady's too short. I'm like, okay, my man, that's wild.
And the thing was that the cute thing was that, like, Jaws would look at his girlfriend and she would just smile at him, and then he would smile back at her. So that was really cute.
Yeah.
Jaws, who speaks for the first time, saying to his girlfriend, "Well, here's to us," as they break open a bottle of champagne on their way back to Earth.
No,
this skips a lot.
Yeah, it skips the entire end scene where Americans are blasting up a space station, and I said this then, and I say it now. Why the crap are we shooting guns inside of the pressurized space station? Because if you make one hole, you're gonna pull everyone into space. And, like, no, you want to escape yourself, so you can't be out here pew-pewing inside the space station. That's a bad plan. So then Jaws, Bond, and Holly, but technically mostly Jaws, like, they're henchmen trying to fight Jaws, because they have, like, stun batons or whatever, and Jaws just tanks the hits as he knocks people out and, like, tries to escape, because the space, like, after it is uncloaked, and after Bond and Holly get captured, and Bond is like, oh, you and your girlfriend won't be a part of this new perfection. And then Jaws is like, I want her to be, and he starts attacking people and whatever. And then, like, there are shuttles to escape, because there are life rafts on this boat. And they try to run away.
By the way, a lot of people end up dying.
Yes.
A lot. Like, I feel like at that point, everybody ended up dying.
Mm-hmm.
Except for, like, Bond ends up throwing Drax into outer space.
Yeah.
A full-fledged murder.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you were supposed to turn him in. Right?
Yes.
Man just flat out murdered him.
My man's out here.
Threw him into outer space.
Making neurotoxins, building secret space stations in airspace he's not allowed to. Coming up with doomsday plans, and James Bond is like, well, time for a murder.
He's like, we don't need your kind.
Yeah.
And just threw him off into the abyss space.
Yeah, man.
So the other thing too is, like, they're in this thing. It's like when they're during this whole scene too of the perfection. Like, the fight didn't really go too long until, like, I guess the American Marines come up and start blasting up everything. The thing is, they asked no questions. They just came in and started pew-pew-pewing. There's really no fighting. All that happened was that Jaws was not listening to Drax, and Drax was like, Jaws, 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 because Jaws was like, he wasn't listening to him when he was telling him to, like, you know, get bonds. And then he just pushed a few people, and then I guess then, like, you know, the shuttle made contact with the
space station.
The space station, and that's when, like, everything went down.
Yeah, man, that's when the Americans started shooting.
Yeah. Alright, Bond and Goodhead leave the space shuttle to destroy 3 probes which are heading towards Earth. Bond destroys the first 2 on automatic pilot and finally gets the last one on manual control. At the end of the film, the Americans and British try to talk to Bond and Goodhead to congratulate them, but they were having sex under a sheet while in orbit. M rhetorically asks, what does Bond think he's doing? And Q, who is looking at the radar screen, but not at the picture of the 2 of them, says, I think he's attempting to re-entry, sir.
The scene of him shooting the virus globes is not suspenseful because my brain was like, oh, he's going to get them all. So he shot the first 2. And they pulled a Star Wars, and that's not a joke. They pulled an actual Star Wars to where he shot it with autopilot, and then afterwards he had to use the Force and do it manually.
Before you go to more defensive, I want to add that their shuttle that they used to destroy the orbit thingies was jammed. They got the help from Jaws and his girlfriend, who were, by the way, were in the spaceship, like the station was like about to go kapoom, right? And somehow they managed to communicate with Jaws and his girlfriend, and Jaw manages to unjam the shuttle that they're in to destroy the little orbit toxin thingies, and they do that. And then, like, a few seconds after they detach, the station goes kaboom.
Yes.
And you know what happened when that scene where, like, they're trying to talk to Bonds and Holly? They said that they found Jaws and his girlfriend alive. How did they survive that space shuttle that space shuttle? It went kaboom.
Hey, Jaws finds a way.
Man,
that's what happened.
See, this is what I mean. Jaws should have been the true villain, man. You can't kill this man. And then Drax wanted to be like, oh, I don't want you.
It'd be kind of hard. James Bond villains are quippy and whatnot, and Jaws doesn't talk. The only thing he says ever is
cheers to us.
Yeah, to his girlfriend.
Which, by the way, his voice sounded smooth like butter.
Yeah, man. So, like, yeah, but yeah, he didn't talk. Like, so he's a great silent henchman, but like he doesn't talk.
So the whole issue throughout my movie, the whole issue throughout this movie was that Jaws was immortal.
Yeah.
Like, he is a deity. Like, this man does not die. He is just. He's just immortal, man.
No, that's not true. He just survives falling out of a plane,
crashing through falling off a
building.
Waterfall.
Yeah.
And then now an exploding explosion. Yeah. Along with his girlfriend.
Yeah, his girlfriend's still alive because at the end they were saying how the Americans picked up a blonde lady and a tall dude, and I was like, oh, so they lived, and that's crazy.
I wanted to throw my phone across the screen. Across the room.
And then, like, when they were shooting the globes and he does manual, they were hitting the wrong angle for re-entry because just like real life, if you go in a space shuttle and you do re-entry at the wrong angle, the space shuttle should come apart and turn into a fireball. And Holly's like, oh, it's going to come apart, and it doesn't come apart. And they correct it, and they shoot the last globe, and they correct it, and it's all good.
My thing, though, is after that, shouldn't they have just gone into, like, they just kept floating around? Wasn't the ship, like, getting ready to go kapooey, too?
No, the ship was about to turn into a fireball and come apart, and then they shot the virus globe, so they straightened out.
I don't like how the movie ended because, like, when...
Have you not seen James Bond? It always ends with him kissing a lady or whatever.
I don't like how this one ended because in the end, like, when Bond finds out that, like, you know, the headquarters or wherever the station is, like, he sees what he's doing. He turns off the camera, and then Holly goes like he basically tells like, oh hey, like they're basically we have to go back soon, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Holly goes, take me around the world one more time, James. I'm like, bruh. And I don't know, was that like a double innuendo or something?
No,
Or did it? I genuinely mean take me around the world.
No, I think
because they're flying in the orb.
I don't think it was a double innuendo. I think it was just innuendo.
There you go, innuendo.
It's just normal innuendo.
It's just
yes.
innuendo. Take her for a ride, man.
Yeah, but no, yeah. When Q said the thing about re-entry, I'm like, oh, that's funny. But I didn't realize he was looking at the radar. I thought Q was just being cheeky. He's like, I'm an old man. What are you gonna do? Fire me from my secret agent job?
The fact that these people, I feel like most Bond movies, from my understanding too, is that they end in those scenes where like they're having sex or they're finishing up having sex at the end of every movie. But whatever.
They do. That's what I'm saying. You're like, I hate how this movie ends. I'm like, so you hate how James Bond ends. Like, that's how it always ends. Even the one I brought up earlier with Pierce Brosnan and Halle Berry, like, legit, it ends with them making out on top of diamonds. That's how it ends.
Jesus.
So I'm just like, it's nonsensical. So that's where at the end of the movie. The budget for this movie, surprisingly, what do you think the budget was for this? How much do you think this cost to make? To cost?
600,000. I don't know.
I see them. They blew up models and smashed stuff. No, it's $34 million to make this movie. $34 million.
How much did they make back?
The box office at the time was $210 million. So massive hit. Surprise, surprise.
Wow.
And then some fun facts about this movie. Wow, I can't believe people like this movie.
I mean, they like what they like, man.
Yeah, but you said, well, like, I can't believe some goofballs went and would go see this long-running franchise at this time. Yeah, man. People love this stuff. At the space station, the radar jamming system device that Holly Goodhead deactivates is the same prop Princess Leia is trying to fix in the Millennium Falcon when she and Han Solo kiss for the first time in Star Wars 5. Empire Strikes Back.
Wow.
Which I find hilarious because if you look at enough movies, Hollywood loves reusing props. They love it. It's the best thing. For the shot of Drax being ejected into space, a camera was placed on the floor looking upward, and Michael Lansdale was pulled 50 meters up into the air by a cable to simulate him going out into space. And I was like, oh, I wonder how they did that on a soundstage, because I know they definitely didn't go anywhere near space.
That's creative.
Right? In order to create the final shot in which the space station is destroyed... Sorry. The visual effects crew locked themselves in the studio and shot the model of the space station to pieces using shotguns. So I love the idea of these adults. They're like, we gotta destroy the station and break it up, and they come with their loaded shotguns to the thing. And they're like, don't interrupt us. Locks the door. It's a group of adults shotgunning inside. During the cable car stunt, high above Rio de Janeiro, a real cliffhanger moment occurred when stuntman Richard Graydon slipped and was hanging on for dear life. The rest of the crew, including Sir Ken Adam, were petrified while the camera was rolling, and they were watching from a vantage point. So
he almost did fall.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And then besides the crew shotgunning a model. My other favorite fact is the cable that Jaws bites is actually made of licorice. And I'm like, that's adorably fun.
That's okay. So that makes sense to why, like, when he was stopping it, he kept going back to check it.
Yeah.
I guess that was, like, his character being like, is this gonna fall?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
So, would you recommend this movie?
Yeah, sure, I would.
I would not recommend this movie. I really enjoy parts of this movie, but I think there are better James Bond movies to watch.
I recommend it just because, like, it's nonsensical. Like, it's more of a comedic relief than anything, really. So I would recommend it.
But yeah, because I don't think it's the worst James Bonds ever. James Bonds. I don't think it's the worst James Bond film ever. But for me, I think there are better James Bond films to start with than MoonRaker. I think MoonRaker is a fun film.
The fact that this has so many series, like, mind boggles me.
Yeah.
Like, whatever. It was a trend. Good for them.
Yeah, man. James Bond's still going strong today. Ooh, and that's our show for this week. Next week, we are doing the movie Airplane. Have you ever seen Airplane?
No.
You never seen Airplane?
No, it reminds me of that show with the airplanes. The kid show with the talking airplanes.
JJ the Jet Plane.
That's what it reminds me of. That's what is that?
Airplane?
Yeah, is it about airplanes?
Well, you'll see next week.
Oh my god. Oh man, I feel like I'm about to be either very intrigued or very disappointed.
I don't think you'll be disappointed. But but remembering how Airplane is, I think if you think this is nonsensical, you will think Airplane is 10 times as nonsensical.
Is it like Monty Python?
It is comedic like Monty Python. I'm not going to put the comedy in the same in the same category.
Okay, well, we'll get there.
But yes, Airplane 1980 is our next movie. Subscribe to us on Instagram, Spotify, and YouTube, and stay up to date on all the podcasts upcoming. And don't forget to rate us 5 stars wherever you can. Thank you for listening, and you have a good day.
Bye, everyone.